Okay, after about an hour and a half of driving, we finally made it here to camp. First thing we got to do though is cross over through this cow pasture. And it's about 500 yards from the main road to our back gate, but it's a nice little ride as long as you don't mind dodging cow patties along the way. It's probably hard to tell in the video, but as we crested the last hill, there was a small flock of turkeys at the gate, which was a nice little welcoming committee. Maintaining the gates closed is extremely important to ensure we don't have any escaping cows running around our camp. So now the real challenge begins. Before I can make the first cut, I need to decide where I want this massive tree to fall. Not only that, as I also need to make sure I've got an escape route just in case something goes wrong. I start by making my notch cut here. As long as everything goes right, this tree should fall exactly where we want it to. Looking back, I probably could have gone a little bit bigger with the depth of the notch, but overall, I'm happy with the results. Next up, the felling cut. To be completely honest, this tree's integrity had me worried. It's old, dead, and definitely full of bug damage. And that was determined by the amount of carpenter ants that poured out of it when I cut into the tree. This is why I decided not to cut the hinge too thin. In hindsight, that was probably not my best call, as it increased my workload to take down this beast significantly. By the way, if you've got experience taking trees down like this, with bug damage, disease, or rot, drop your advice in the comments. I'd love to hear how you handle these situations safely. I'm always looking on ways to do things better, safer, or both. After getting to this point, I hammered in a few wedges to guide the fall. I figured the tree would topple easily at this point. Yeah, but not so much. Once again, going back to the reality that I didn't cut my hinge thin enough, so now I've got to do more work to make up for it. Here's just a quick up-close shot of the tree with the wedges driven in. The tree is headed in the right direction, so at least I got that going for me. After some effort, I decided to go back to finishing it off with another felling cut. And down she goes, or so I thought. As you can see, a smaller bent over tree caught the big tree mid-fall. This is not an ideal situation. Here's another angle of the tree finally coming down, at least halfway. Little side note, we put an older camera in harm's way in an effort to catch the fall. I think I nailed the direction, but that bent over tree once again ruined the fun. Now you can see me working on the smaller tree. I'm trying to get both of them to the ground together. This part was a bit sketchy, as there was a ton of tension on that smaller tree, and a lot of energy still built up in the dead tree. You can see everything flexing and shifting as I make my cuts. Again, this is that other angle, trying to catch the fall. We're getting closer, but still no tree on the ground. As you can see, these trees are being very stubborn and reluctant to come down. But my persistence is gonna win out in the end. Finally, after a few careful cuts, the system releases. The big tree comes down, and thankfully, I'm able to get out of the way when it happens. It was a close call, but I never should have been on that side of the system to begin with. I knew the direction of the fall. I think I got a bit lucky here. From here, it's just cleanup mode. Cutting the trunk into 3 to 4 foot manageable sections, rolling them off into the woods, and calling it a day. There's a lot of hard work, but what a great feeling watching that thing finally come down. This isn't the most exciting part of the video, however, it's important that we get this tree cleaned up and out of the road. This way we can get our cars back to camp. By the way, you'll see in this shot, I move my second chainsaw out of the way before I run it over with a log. I always find it useful to have a second chainsaw on hand just in case. You never know when you'll need a second saw to help get the first one unstuck. Also, it's a lot easier to limb down trees with a smaller and lighter chainsaw. You may notice that I only pushed these logs a little bit into the woods. We'll get the tractor fired up later and push them further so they're out of the way. There's no point in killing myself if there's a piece of equipment that can do the work for me. Here are some highlights of the day taken by Erin. She might be a bit camera shy, but she does a great job behind the scenes. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe as we'll be posting more outdoor projects and adventures. And seriously, if you've got safer or smarter tree felling tips, share them below. I'm always learning, and I'm sure the community would love to learn more too.